How far do you want to go tonight, council?
Well, if we can give it a good try and go at least up to 8, it'll be good.
You got page 83.
Go a third of the way, it'd be good.
I'll try and be as quick as possible here. There are some stuff we can probably...
Okay. I move to go back in.
Thank you. All in favor? Shoot.
Well, if we move on to the C2 district, I take it we'll get rid of the shipping container cap there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was page 86.
86. Like I said, this is a hybrid, collapsing the existing drive-in and highway commercial districts. They're kind of redundant. The minimum lot size in the current highway commercial is a lot bigger. What I went with was the minimum in the drive-in commercial, which is a bit smaller. I didn't see the risk in using that existing minimum in drive-in. So it's 6,500 square feet.
How did we zone the property up on the South Hill at the top? It used to be a drive-in.
Golden Burger.
Well, it's been sitting
That's
aside.
zone public and institutional
Yeah.
right now.
Public owned this forever, yeah.
And the property right beside it, is that residential?
It used to be a house.
Yes.
Mrs. Luther's place.
I think that is commercial right now,
Okay.
C1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was zoned public institutional about 4 years ago, wasn't it? 5 years ago?
Just before the DHL came
Right.
in, they rezoned it.
Okay,
They were going to use that property.
right.
If that's okay, we can move down to the next district, controlled commercial.
Page 90.
Yeah, C3.
Yep, C3.
This is an existing district. Now, I don't know the history, but from what it looks like, we have one site that's zoned. This is the Napa site, is it not? Is it Napa that's zoned?
Napa Body Shop.
And the only difference between this and C1, the downtown district, is that it doesn't allow for residential uses accessory to the commercial use. I think because there is knowledge of contamination of the soils. So that's the only difference here. So we can probably move on then.
So you'll fix the shipping containers up on that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna move all, I think the way we're going is move all the shipping containers to no cap.
I think, except in residential.
Well, residential,
Not permitted.
yeah.
I have a question before we move on.
In temporary allowance.
On the discretionary use as a single detached, I was thinking about the miniature museum that has a residence up above it. Is that still allowable?
So you're not talking about the C3s?
Yeah, because that's what it's in there.
What?
It's in the controlled commercial. Just wondered, I just wonder what you considered that, because it's right there next to the school,
It's under the alternate school.
the alternate
That
school
one's
there.
zone C1.
That'd be C1.
That's a C1?
This C3 is just
And then
really for that one.
Dr. McMurray's right next
application.
door to it, and that's all C1?
Yep.
Okay. That's good, thank you.
So we're general industrial?
Yes.
I'm
So we've done a little tinkering with these industrial districts, mostly moving some stuff over to permitted where appropriate. That's really the only change happening in the industrial districts. Opening them up a bit, because right now we really don't allow anything as permitted. So it will streamline the process a bit there.
I have some problem with some of that, in the fact that we are now allowing this kind of stuff to go into our entrances into the community, you know, such as the entrance to the west from the park, entrance to the south from the south. I think we gotta guard our entries, our gateways into our community, and the one up the west is pretty wild, you know.
What you could consider doing, and I think we had maybe touched on this at some point, is you could have what we call an overlay district. An overlay district is like, sits on top of a conventional district and applies special rules to a particular area. For instance, you could have a gateway corridors overlay, where there's increased aesthetic and landscaping requirements or something. Or downtown overlay is a common one. I think that's a good point. The corridors, the entrance corridors are very important.
Can we get you to
Yep.
add that into this? Because I think we need to guard our gateways into our community. Yes.
Under the general industrial 200 discretionary uses, we've got abattoirs, and I was looking at food processing. I was thinking of that, the old Pitcher Meats up here. It has an apartment up above it, but it doesn't allow in here for that. But it's been there since day one.
Oh, okay.
But there's an assumption it's zoned I1,
Zone industrial?
and I don't know that it is. I'd have to look at the zoning.
Yeah, we really need a zoning map.
Yeah, because right across the street, you've got,
No, that's.
you've got the Southern Equipment there, and
Yeah.
then the...
I think it is zoned industrial.
Okay.
Yeah, and then south of it's the old bulk plant there, and now a fertilizer plant.
So again, what that does is it doesn't change existing properties.
Right.
So it's a grandfathered thing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to allow it to expand or something like that, then you may want to list it as a use. Maybe the biggest question though is do you want these suites or like that in your industrial areas in the future?
That's the time we go to NDP and.
Yeah.
PC.
or-
Well, as it stands, unless we list it as a use, you can't even,
Thank
you
you.
It's
can't
not
approve it.
permitted, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
not-
can't waive use. MPC cannot vary or waive use.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
They can waive
By law,
measurable
it's
standards.
changed to allow it.
I've noticed that in a lot of these we have, under permitted, we have small wind energy systems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
it's under
include
most all of them.
anything about solar panels?
Solar is covered,
Further later on, yeah, there's a whole section on it later on.
and it does say that the minor solar uses or something to that effect are classified as accessory structures.
It's under Schedule
Yeah.
5.
Schedule 5,
11.
yeah. But yeah, there is provision for that.
They're.
Ryan, what is natural resource extraction?
Well,
Yeah, it
Oil,
would be
gas,
mining,
yeah,
mining,
any kind of thing like that,
charcoal,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, gravel.
mineral.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna put a big oil well right up there.
No, gravel is good.
So again, that's under discretionary use.
Okay, are we okay with the district there for the?
I-2, 98.
Well, do you want to put, are we still on general industrial or?
We
or
can be.
or going to the next one? I was.
Oh, Councillor Barnes' point, yeah, with the
Yeah.
residential thing.
I wondered if we wanted to decide on that before we move on. If
Under
we
which
want
one,
that.
Councillor?
Under industrial, if we want to put.
Oh, The apartments
An
on the top of
apartment
the thing.
as a discretionary.
I don't think we want
No.
apartments in general industrial
No.
areas.
Well, okay.
But that one is.
There's one now
But
there, but
there
it's
is
been there for
one,
some
and
time.
so it
Yeah,
is, but
So, I mean, it's, yeah, it just means they couldn't change it, and it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
They can stay, they can maintain it.
they can maintain it.
so long we
They
don't
could
have
make it into
more
an
of
office
the
or
same.
something like that, but they couldn't.
I would agree that you probably don't want these,
No.
what you create the potential for is that land use conflict with, I mean, industrial areas can function 24/7 as well. They're not set up to accommodate residential
And you have
type
the
of
noise,
uses.
you have
Yeah.
the pollution.
Nuisance.
That's right.
Yeah.
So is it office?
See, then there's a
Should
bit of
be under a
a
general industrial.
situation, of course, across the street is county,
Right.
Yeah.
and you've got a residence right there, and already got issues with the noise and industrial noise and everything there, so you don't want any more.
Okay.
Traffic, everything.
Okay, so we'll move on
We go to 98.
to,
Yep, 98.
the next.
Pretty
one.
basic.
The-
We're getting rid of the caps
shipping.
anyway.
We're getting rid of
Yeah,
the
we'll get rid of
shipping
the
container
caps,
caps. Yeah, this is, as it reads, you know, it doesn't allow some of those heavy more heavy, noxious type of industrial uses, more like business park kind of stuff, right? Yeah.
Okay. Agriculture is 107.
Okay.
Where is our light industrial area before we move too quickly here? What do we call it?
West. We've got some zoned on the west.
Is that up there like where K&D implements and that type of thing are, and further
I
west?
think so, yeah.
Actually, the Mountain View Industries is light commercial along the highway, and then behind that is light industrial, where Shaver's shop is, Fish and Wildlife Place, the Harris's shop. And then there's quite a bit up here on this end of town where Southern Equipment is, and about a block and a half deep, all the way up to where the soccer field is.
And that's
What's-
general.
What's up
That's
Second
general.
Avenue, right across from Tar Salt there, where the frame shop is and where, what's his name, used to have that little wooden coffee shop.
Some of that zoned medium density, some of it zoned light industrial, and some of it zoned R1. And then behind that is R4, or large lot, so R3.
Large lot, R3. Do we need to look at that area?
The rezoning of some of that.
Yeah.
To reclaim it, reclaim it.
We'd like to eventually get rid of that shop and
Yeah,
get rid of that zone out of that, out of the north side of that, or the south side of that street. There's only a small bit of industrial in there.
Hardy shop.
Yeah, the wooden creations.
Yeah, and when we get the map out, we'll certainly be having those discussions, but I think time won't allow for that tonight. So into the ag district,
So did we skip public institution, or is there nothing in there?
I think, yeah, there were no changes. They're virtually identical to
Okay.
what they are now, so unless you want to,
No, that's fine, I just,
Okay.
before I scrolled all the way through it. And recreation, open space, so we're scrolling through that one too. No changes.
no.
Okay. We're down to agriculture.
Agricultural, this is,
There we go, okay.
most communities, they often have what's called an urban reserve district. Our ag district functions as a holding or urban reserve type of district. So until the time that lands are needed for more urban type development, we leave them in ag. So it's not to say that they're necessarily using them for agricultural purposes. It's a reserve type, hybrid of the district, if you want to look at it like that.
So where do our what do you call it? Rodeo grounds come in at? What's that zoned?
Agridome?
Our
The
ag,
Agrodome.
Probably public institutional.
Could be, yeah.
yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's
Because
either,
it's
it might
towns.
be ag, or it might be, I'd have to go look.
Question two, that land just south of the, not south of the, but, I guess it'd be north of the soccer park there, there's a piece of property that's farmed in there. But is that actually agriculture, or is that,
Just north of the soccer field? behind-
yeah,
Behind.
you know where Jack used to have all of his
yeah.
things stored there?
Industrial.
I see they're farming that area now.
That's-
It's just west of Ernie Watts's, or
The
east of
soccer
Ernie Watts's.
soccer field fits right here, and the piece over behind Ernie Watts. and
Yeah,
there's two
east of him.
pieces in there, they're both light industrial.
Okay.
Yep.
I just noticed it got farmed this year.
But it doesn't change its zoning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
until it starts to develop.
Need to extend the meeting.
Okay, motion to extend. How long?
Half an hour.
What's this?
Yeah.
You need a motion to
Ryan?
extend. That's-
Ryan, is that gonna?
I'm good as long as you want to go.
Yes, at 7
Why
o'clock.
why don't we go to 8 o'clock? Call it a day.
It's 7 o'clock now.
Sure.
Why
Want to
don't we
say for
go
an
to
hour?
8? Let's
Can you
go
make that?
for an hour.
I'll move
Okay, we got a motion to extend for an hour.
meeting to-
All in favor?
If we get done sooner.
Okay.
No, that's gonna happen.
Well, at least we're able to move a little bit. We're about halfway.
So that ag district is, the bulk of it's down in the southeast, home seekers and that, where
Yeah.
East Cardston Area Redevelopment Plan is for. So this, like I said, it's a holding district. I've added some stuff in the green there that talks about some decision-making criteria for when there's a discretionary use or something like this, so that the development authority, as best as possible, tries to look at what the land might be used for in the future before they approve a discretionary use that could be premature or conflicting.
Right.
So that's what that language is intended to say.
Okay, and then I've got a question on that then. See, there's already, if I'm in the right place, Mr. Quinton's has a house in that, right in the middle of all that.
Kerry?
Yeah, isn't his
Yeah.
house in that area?
No, they're talking about right behind Will Wolf's place.
Well, that's.
Well, it goes right to the bypass, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if he was just in that area, or is it south of him that we're talking?
Well, he's in the east area, he's in the east area structure plan. His parcel he's on is probably not agricultural anymore, because he only has a small parcel there. Coralie's built up there, there's a number of properties in there now.
Yeah.
So,
Are we talking about Jones,
But they're on the home
right
secret.
in that area?
So just along Home Seekers to the bypass,
Okay.
behind Coralie
yeah,
and...
but what's the question, sorry?
I just wondered if that's the area you're talking about, that's all I wanted to know.
Oh,
So-
yeah, that's mostly agricultural up there, especially north of that house.
Okay, okay.
I mean, there's a Sheen's, there's all those
Yep,
property
yep.
there.
Is there any minimum area associated with agriculture?
It's 5 acres.
Or is it?
5 acres is the minimum lot size, and that's what it is currently. No
5
change
acres.
proposed there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Did you talk about the shipping containers in that one?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Nolan, I didn't have it highlighted, but the
This
shipping
one has a
container.
permanent.
Yeah, Nolan suggested moving them over permanent to permitted,
Which?
the shipping containers,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sea cans.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Move that over. Okay.
Then we get to some of the schedules here.
Yeah, Schedule
Page
3.
117 on the PDF.
What page?
Yes, sir.
117.
And this is where a permit's not required. So what I'd like you to consider adding is provision for a temporary shipping container in residential. This would apply to all districts. You don't need a permit, as long as it doesn't exceed, what did I say
The
here?
time limit,
14 days.
2 weeks.
So in
yeah.
support of a construction project, a renovation, what have you,
Some people use them for moving, so they
Moving.
bring it in, set it there, load their stuff.
people are using them more and more, like we said, they're
Yeah,
becoming more
and they're
accessible.
cheap, I mean,
Yeah,
2,000.
They proliferated.
Now, I think you did have a provision for if there's, if there's construction going on for longer than
Yeah,
a period.
I think you
We
said
could give them a permit for up to 90 days.
3
Yeah.
months or something like that, I believe.
And then we could extend it one time or something.
Yeah,
you know.
so a bit of flexibility there.
Yeah, I think that was good.
If that looks okay, we'll move down on the page there. And this is something Councillor Edmonds had mentioned about if we're concerned about the extent of, people covering their yards with concrete, or
Right.
there's
Yeah.
too much impermeable surface.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to get at here, and I really just put this out there as a feeler, I don't have too much experience with what might be appropriate here.
Is there, so you don't have no backgrounder from other,
No, and
Town
I
or
didn't really, I
jurisdiction?
kind of added this towards the end, I was working hard on this
Yeah.
draft, and I can do some more research on this.
maybe we should have a look what,
25% of the parcel, and the
oh,
other
yeah,
35%.
35. Maybe we should have a look what other bylaw might have regarding that.
And this isn't to say that you can't have more, but if you want more, you need a permit.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was the,
But I mean, some would be tempted to have everything into parking spots.
Well, so this affects things like storm drainage?
Well, it does.
On a,
Yeah, because everything
It
comes
does
off the property.
because it
comes down
doesn't
the
slip
drain.
in, right?
Yeah.
It goes down the drain.
Yeah.
So less you have of that stuff, better it
Right.
is.
yeah, I mean, there are, there's porous type concretes and asphalt, and that technology is moving along, but it's mostly non-porous.
Yeah.
There was a thing on the news last night about porous cement.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You
Yeah.
got a cement truck and it's just dumping water out, and as fast as dumping it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have some kind of catchment diversion
Right.
below the cement.
Yeah, it's gotta go
Yeah.
But
somewhere.
it's porous.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. It was in one of our municipal magazines, I think they had something.
Might have done, yeah.
Well, maybe then we need to get a little bit more information.
Yeah, I'll do a little more research there.
I mean, I think the intent is, do we just want to say that you can't put non-porous surface at a certain, you have to leave a certain percentage of your lot porous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really what it's coming down to,
And I
in
guess
the simplest terms.
But I mean, it goes along with the idea of having a little bit of landscaping on the front of your house. If everything is just driveway, where is the landscaping?
Yeah, well, there has to be some place for the stormwater to go on, you know, so you're not dumping it out onto somebody else's
There are places down the lake.
property.
Right across from the,
Hmm?
right across from the state center on the east side of the state center up here. There's a house there, the whole front is all concrete.
Well, that's what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say.
Okay, I'll take a closer look at that. Moving down there, home occupation 1, so as it currently stands, we just define home occupation. We don't split them into categories. A lot of places do. What I've suggested here is that we split them into 1 and 2, and we'll get to that, and we don't even take a permit for 1. And 1 would be a home office,
Yeah.
where there's no customers coming to the site, you don't even know
Thank
what
you,
it
Kim.
is.
Just an office.
Yeah.
So, and I think,
Well, you have them fairly well defined in your
Yeah, he's defined it later
definitions.
on.
yeah.
Which is, yeah, one is pretty low key.
So that looks okay.
I just want to throw in there, I hope we never get to the point where some communities I see where people have just started complaining about little kids selling lemonade from the front yard of their house. You know?
They don't have a license, lock them up.
Yeah, I mean, don't want to ever go there. We always want to be a family-friendly community.
Yeah, you hope common sense is always going to
Yeah.
prevail, but
Well, in some places it doesn't.
It's on the news all the time. Or a school that's online.
You're down to page 130, medical marijuana.
Okay.
Page 134 on the PDF.
I've been waiting for
yeah, so we got the general standard for all districts and then into these specific standards for specific uses.
But I mean, if I remember right, we had looked at that last year
Yep.
when the federal kind of allowed for those type of use. And we said we wanted it in a
Direct control.
district, direct control kind of district, which is what you did.
Yeah.
And so it seems to me what we wanted is reflected now in,
Yeah, I took my own
Yes.
notes on this stuff, yeah.
so I think that is pretty good.
But this is a real controlled situation now. The government is really looking at controls on this
Yeah, but
medical marijuana.
you need something at the local level too.
Oh, yes, but the
To be able
government is
to
really insisting on
What
it.
page are we on right now?
134.
134.
They're insisting on it.
I mean,
To get that Health Canada permit, you gotta do a lot of stuff.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
but I mean, for us at the local level, it's important that we have that in place.
Well, we were told that, but how many years ago?
Well, we had sought legal anyway on this one. and
Yes.
That's the way we came to know that it should be written that way.
He said be prepared.
Yeah, well,
Barfuss is gonna be done.
Yeah, I mean, the county just passed a bylaw, bringing it into their land use bylaw just the other night here.
Now, they established a specific district.
Is that what they did?
For it, I believe. They
Yeah,
established a
which-
specific zoning,
Okay.
which is in Calgary what they've done.
which is another way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, another way to do
That's
it.
what they've done it.
Yeah.
In one way, if you give it a special district, then you don't have to worry yourself as council no more. No one can worry about. Right now, it would have to come on the front of council.
Yeah, it'd have to be
For direct control,
Direct
yeah.
control. yeah.
re-zoned or direct control, whatever district.
But there is still something there, there is still the need to figure out on a different zoning where that could happen. I mean, we should still
Where it could
have
be physically
a-
located?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
They'd have to-
still something we need to kind of look at. It's very nice to say it's under the control of council, but if we don't have a clue where that could be, it's no good. So we need a little bit of both.
We don't have to designate an area as direct control right now. I mean, that can be
Yeah,
applied
but-
for, and then we can decide whether we want to or not.
But if you do an area structure plan,
That's my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah. So leave it alone.
You gotta make sure that you got.
I mean, there's no case law or court, you know, there's no precedent on this
Yeah.
stuff. So until there is, you know,
If you don't have a zone for it, you might be able to say,
There is no zone.
take it out
Okay.
of town.
I'll get you.
We'll
Okay.
talk to the county.
So there is logic in not having a zoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is a good approach. This is what Vulcan County did. Same thing, direct control, has to be in direct control.
Yeah, that's what we wanted anyways. But I just wondered if in our mind,
A separate district is something we could do, like the county's done, yeah.
But then you kind of have to,
That doesn't mean they rezone land for that purpose.
No.
You just have it.
They just have it, they can be rezoned. for that
you know,
purpose.
yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
Meaning it could be located in that if it came to that.
Although direct control gives you a little bit more,
Time.
well, direct control is direct control with council, so it gives you more, council more control over that,
Complete control.
complete
Yeah,
control.
there's no
over that
appeal in
area,
a direct
so-
control district
Yeah.
on a development decision.
So
So I think if you just leave it direct control.
Nothing there.
No, that's a right thing to do, I really believe
Absolutely,
it
'cause there's no
is.
appeal.
Yeah, I think it puts you in the driver's seat on that one.
Good.
At 136 on your PDF, temporary shipping containers, just over one page.
Okay.
You just put a blurb about temporary at the bottom of that.
Okay. I did also,
90
I'm
days,
just
I guess.
seeing now that
Yeah.
under the secondary suite stuff, we do have a minimum square footage for the secondary suites. I know we were talking about the minimum for the garage suites, and it's 322 square feet, 30 square meters, so.
Where are you looking at?
Sorry, that's on 9C,
So that would be page 135.
under
Yeah, it's
C.
part C, secondary suites, section 9,
secondary
part
suites,
3.
yeah, okay.
So maybe we make it consistent for the garden and the garage suites at 30 square meters?
Yeah, maybe that's
Oh,
what you
yeah.
do, right?
That's,
Then it's consistent throughout the document
Yeah, that would be.
for all types.
rather than 400, it'd be the 30 meters
322.
square, 322.
So it's a little bit less than.
That's what it
Yeah.
currently is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of those things are less than 300, some of them,
Yeah,
you know, so.
no, I think that would be reasonable.
People seem to be happy, force you to get along.
Put some wheels under.
Okay, on the next page there, temporary shipping containers, this is like I mentioned, or
Yeah.
like Councillor Creed mentioned, you can have one up to 3 months, that requires a permit. So if you're over 2 weeks, construction project or whatever,
You need a
you
pen.
can still extend it, but it requires a permit.
I got a quick question I gotta ask here. I wanna back up to the 9A. It says a secondary suite shall only be developed within the principal dwelling and shall not be developed within a detached garage or auxiliary structure. Were we not talking about that we could do that?
But that's a different
It's
use.
different.
That was-
garage
It's
suite
not
or
called a
garden
secondary
suite.
suite.
Secondary suites like within the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like within your-
Okay,
Yeah, secondary to the principal use.
Mhm.
okay,
Like a basement suite.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
okay, okay.
Move on.
Shipping containers, I assume that's probably okay, the 3 months there.
Yep.
There's the solar piece right after this for information.
Solar piece.
But there's,
This is for the individual solar, so not like solar farm. That brings you to
Yeah.
Schedule 11.
that's just if you want to put it on your roof and.
Panels on a residential roof or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's getting to be more and more popular, not as much in Canada, but down the States, it's really going crazy down there.
Yeah.
They're talking of expanding up to here.
Mhm.
My son actually works for a company that sells the solar
Yeah.
stuff down in Baltimore, and they're all over the States and doing big business.
Well, there are more and more subdivisions in some towns,
We're all done.
that really tells you new subdivision have to be able to accommodate solar.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're actually requiring it for some areas.
Decibel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In some area,
We'll look at it.
you have to be able to accommodate,
Part of the.
which means that they develop very differently because I have to face south.
It goes down to moved in dwellings. and
Yeah, their
buildings,
the roof
Schedule
slopes
6.
have to be at a certain pitch as well.
Yeah.
And they have to have certain,
Page 145 on the PDF is where we're going.
when what?
What section?
145, it's section
Section
6,
six.
or schedule 6, sorry, section 1.
So move in.
It's a little bit stuff there.
Now, a lot of communities, and I believe, I can't remember if our bylaw currently says this, but there's an age cap, moved-in dwellings up to not more than 25 years old.
Right.
What we've tried to do here, I think we have that right now.
We have that.
We have that now, McGrath had that too, McGrath got rid of that. This is what they went to. Instead of a hard number, they went with the quality,
Quality, which makes sense.
right?
That was gonna
You're
be
talking about
my
like
question.
from the age,
Get rid of the age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And use a quality thing.
Yeah, I put in here, my note here, I said, what, would there be any problem with this sound structure such as historic home or other well-built home that may in fact add to the street appeal of an older area of town that may have similar homes or living, other structures? But I thought that it'd be important that if they were going to bring in those type of homes, that they should probably have a quality inspection report, and they should have had an engineer certificate to make sure that they're structurally sound before that type of home could be brought in. Because when you get into
I don't think
historic
so.
homes,
I don't
100
think
years
that.
or more, there are some out there, you want to make sure that they're sound rather than, it's,
Yeah.
Well, they'd have to have that done before they could even move.
Yeah,
That's
but I
right.
think the move.
But item G stipulates that, certified building inspector.
we're talking about getting rid of the 25-year.
Yeah, and it's
number.
that second paragraph in green is the
Yeah,
existing
it's-
provision.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I forgot.
Well, I think that makes sense.
So we'd be going with the top one.
Yeah.
Good. I
Okay.
like that.
All right, let's see, I'm cruising now. 158. This would be Schedule 9,
Okay.
Section 2.
So as it stands, our current bylaw really is pretty shy on the landscaping stuff. What I've proposed is a schedule dedicated to landscaping. It depends who you are. For landscaping goes a long way for me. I mean, when you ask the people in the Crowsnest Pass in the mountains, they don't really usually care, but on the flatlands, I don't know. It seems to be you get very differing opinions on it. Should it be required? To what extent? Should we take deposits? Should we require it in residential, non-residential? A lot of things to consider here, but the first point I highlighted is when this will be applied, when this schedule will apply. Because you're going to get an existing commercial property who wants to build a new building, and you say, well, you have absolutely no landscaping. And the way I wrote this was with the aim of leaving it with the development authority, either Nolan or the NPC as the case may be, to say, okay, we got to do a little bit of a landscaping upgrade here, not saying, and I'm going to have to reread this, but yeah, the development authority shall consider imposing realistic landscaping improvements for existing properties that are upgrading. A brand new property that's developing a new building will be subject to this schedule in its entirety, but I wanted an applicability thing for existing properties, so that's what that kind of is.
What page on there, Ryan?
158.
Okay. Is there a concern, Ryan, where we take, let's take our, highway commercial, where there's no front setback? So you don't have an opportunity in that case, if that zone applied to the schedule, or I should say if this schedule applied to that zone more correctly, there is no setback to the front.
Yeah.
So you don't have that opportunity for any kind of landscaping. And in our downtown core, you can see that you have no setback on all the frontages.
Certainly in Sealand.
Yeah, then we do have the town trees along there, but.
Yeah, but
Other
that's
than that,
not the
there's no
property
other-
of the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
not.
do we want to consider gravel level gravel as landscaping, like we get at Schaefer's, they just very built level whole place, gravel everywhere. Like Schaefer's, Southern Equipment, same way, just gravel.
Yeah, from their front
Nothing
door to
at
the
all.
road, it's gravel.
Yeah,
That's not
nothing at all.
landscaping.
But it's an industrial use, right? Is it reasonable to want additional landscaping there?
But if it's gravel, you classify zero speed.
That is their escaping now, isn't it? It's actually responsible.
In my mind, landscaping is an enhancement.
Right, it's beautiful, it's part of the beautification of
It's
the town.
not just a filler, it's,
No, it's a beautification of your
intent.
town, right? So it's all, what are we aiming for?
Well, I think sometimes, you know, if you can put some trees there to kind of screen some, you know, because we talked about that when Dave and they wanted that extra area for parking cars. We
Yeah,
just-
we wanted
We just
some
made a
trees.
suggestion, maybe plant some trees along the
I never
edge
did.
of it.
setback or.
I don't think it ever happened, but, you know,
Except for.
would it be a bad thing to require them to plant a few trees just to help screen, you know,
Yeah.
a site so that it looks a little better? Especially like, you know, we talked about our
And the
gateways
entrance,
to the
and the
community, you know,
entrance
we
to
require
the
some
west and to the.
trees be planted.
Yeah, but boulders and gravel
In
and
the
stuff
area.
like that can really be effectively landscaped into.
How do they handle it in Lethbridge? I noticed you go to the industrial area in Lethbridge, a lot of those areas have a little bit of a green strip, and they have some
Yeah.
trees in there. And are those requirements?
I'd have to look, I don't know.
Can we look at it a little bit
It'd
more?
be nice
Bill?
to know.
I'll tell you that Coaldale has an aggressive landscaping approach with their new land use bylaw. I'm trying to think of other recent ones.
When you say aggressive, in what regard?
Aggressive in that, you know, they got hard minimums in industrial areas, in all districts. They took the more is more approach.
Well, it's more pleasant when you go through those districts, there's no doubt. It's definitely, from an aesthetic perspective, more engaging.
What I said in this, on number 4 there, if you scroll down to the next page, requirements for commercial industrial under the first bullet, a minimum of 10% of the site area.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot.
I don't think that's an onerous requirement. And does it need to just be sodded? No, you can xeriscape, you can do, you know, combination
there
of
is
natural
xeriscaping.
and man-made and whatever.
Yeah.
I saw something that I wondered about. There was one where, this wasn't in the green, but it says 50% of the trees shall be coniferous. I kind of
Yeah.
questioned that in my mind.
Yeah, me
What
too.
the purpose of that would be.
Well, to get that evergreen type of feel, I guess, but that's a, you
But
know.
in here,
The other thing, they don't shed their leaves.
Yeah, but they shed lots of other stuff. They drop a lot of junk. In fact, a lot of people have taken them out just because they do drop so many needles and cones and kill your lawn.
Yeah, and if you think that's maybe something, you know, I have no issue with getting that out of there.
We could recommend artificial trees.
No, that defeats the
They don't
purpose.
shed, you don't have to water them.
Where was that under?
They
It
wear.
would just up above 4. If you go up above 4, it's up in
Three-
L
What the heck did you see it?
in the previous section before.
Oh, okay.
3L.
3.
Yeah.
Just get rid of that whole thing?
Yeah, I just thought that one would, I questioned it.
Yeah.
if I put trees already pretty good.
Because, you know, there's lots of other trees that aren't coniferous that
Poplars.
can be good. I don't always say, coniferous trees aren't a solution always to.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do we want to include something in there about these plants that some people figure are nice, but are very prolific and take over?
Oh, invasive species?
Yeah, like
We've talked
snow
about-
on the mountain, which is very nice when it starts off, but after a while, it's in your neighbor's yard, it's in his lawn, it's everywhere.
Yeah, we just had a little thing in Communities in Bloom on invasive species and cautioning us to watch, make sure people don't inadvertently plant invasive species in their flower beds. I don't know if you could put that
Hey, in
into
the
the
front of my house,
land use bylaw.
I bet that stuff and it comes from the
Yeah.
neighbors.
Morning glory.
Something.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's, yeah,
Morning
that's,
glory.
Tiny
is
one.
also-
a weed bylaw.
Weed bylaw or something maybe might be a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to, be aware that they don't intentionally plant, I mean, you can't
Yeah.
help the stuff that comes in, the weeds are there, but that we don't intentionally implant, plants that are designated as invasive
Right.
plants in our landscaping.
Maybe we check and if it's better served in the weed bylaw and then.
Okay. Yeah.
What can you call an invasive?
Invasive plants.
Don't we have books down in the office on invasive species?
Really,
Broad.
he brought us some, I don't know if he left some in the office.
I think we have some downstairs.
I've got,
Don't we, Joe? Isn't there some books there?
Or even
Invasive
unsightly
species?
premises, maybe.
Down into the counter, the front counter there.
Okay, well, we have another half an hour.
There could be something there today.
Just put your checking point on it.
I've got one there.
Council, we need to move forward.
If you can,
165, I think.
were you okay with the residential there?
Yeah,
That talks about a 25% requirement.
I think that's. it's not
What
bad.
page was that at?
136, I think. But it was 25% of the front yard, right?
And talks about a minimum of one tree. I
Yeah.
mean, that's something that not all communities do.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I mean, it would give some kind of look.
1 tree every,
1 tree per yard.
What
Per
per
yard.
per
Per yard.
Yeah, I think that's nice.
I got about 80 trees in my yard.
Okay, what about the boulevards?
The town boulevards?
Yeah.
Well, that's your baby.
We have a boulevard tree planting program where they can
People want them, some people don't.
contribute to.
Yeah.
I don't, 'cause I got enough trees.
Yep, and then you have to clean the leaves up.
Yep.
Maybe good in that.
Or let the wind blow them on your neighbor.
Well, that's, no here, no
We good on the
there.
residential then?
Good on that?
Where are we, 165?
Next one would be 165.
Schedule 10.
Okay.
Off-street parking.
So again, I want to put this applicability thing, because for existing properties where there's an addition or something like that, and of course, sometimes they're not even able to comply with the parking standards, right? So just some guidance to the Development Authority there. An important thing to know is it doesn't apply to a change of use.
Right.
Say, different type of retail comes into where a restaurant used to be, they're not obligated to come up to the parking standards. If you, next page there, as you get into the table, wanted to highlight the residential standards for these accessory housing. How many stalls do we want to see? I thought probably doing it per bedroom was the best way to do it.
But I'm trying to understand that, Ryan,
Me
because
too.
if I have a suite, an additional suite, and I'm a family, father, mother, and a child, I may need 2 cars parked there, but maybe only one.
You could
So
say,
how did you come up with the idea of 2?
Or one per bedroom.
one per bedroom,
Yeah.
Mike? Well, my thought was making them require 2 in all scenarios was maybe too much.
A minimum of 2.
But that's, going with that minimum of 2 is probably closer to the norm.
Okay.
So if you wanted to say that,
No, I think,
My only concern would be on the secondary suite part.
but that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a family that's moved into there, you're gonna maybe have a 2-bedroom with,
You have,
and potentially one person, they're required to have 2 parking spaces there.
yeah, that,
Yeah, I think, the way he's got it with 1-bedroom unit, 2 or 2 to 3-bedroom units looks so good to me.
So he goes for home-based business.
I mean, it errs on the safe side, no doubt. At least there will be parking.
Port McMurray wishes they had it.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we have to remember those are new buildings that would be put
Right.
there, so the people would know they have to put two parking
parking.
stalls, right? So in that sense, it's okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's currently 2,
Yeah, we require
Two already?
spots per.
even for a
you know,
suite.
If they give them a suite, they have to.
Oh, well,
have
there you
spots.
go.
So this is even a
So-
relaxation of
So minimum
Oh.
of 2.
Okay, it's all right.
minimum of 2 currently, but now looking at a bedroom, based on bedroom approach.
So if it was only one bedroom place, they'd only be required to have one.
Yeah,
No, it was an interesting approach. It kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. I was thinking.
Yeah.
we can do that.
I guess it's not uncommon to get, you know, a couple in there sharing a bedroom with 2 cars.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, better be more cautious. Okay.
So in light of that, maybe you just want a hard minimum of 2, I'm not sure.
I mean, the other side of it is if it's just one, given the width of our streets, there's not really anything terribly offensive about people parking on the street. You don't want to plan for it,
Yeah.
but my truck's parked on the street right now. You know, I only have a single wide driveway, so I park on the street all the time. Councillor Bengry's across the street, he parks on the street.
Yeah, but he's got 5 vehicles.
Well, that's true, he could downsize, he's got two people and 5 vehicles, so I'm not sure what he likes paying insurance, I
Can't
suppose.
regulate that.
So it's not like our streets are terribly crowded with off-street parking.
Yeah.
I mean, we have homes in town with no off-street parking. We have a lot of
Yeah.
homes in town with no off-street parking.
You're right.
Was a big house in Vancouver, it's about a $3 million house, and they insisted that he provide parking for a number of vehicles. He didn't have any room, so what they did, they put a carousel on the lower floor. And so you drive off the street onto the carousel, it spins you around. When the car comes, it spins you around. He could take up to 5 cars. So he's fulfilled his obligation.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah, well, he built a $3 million house.
We've got the money, so we have 2 afford house, I guess.
Okay.
I see it both ways, yeah, so maybe we leave it for now and make note of both approaches.
I think this is reasonable.
Yep.
Okay.
Your next one is page 170. So this would be under, it's on residential driveway standards, so it's in the same schedule.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to regulate the width of driveways or not. If you don't, then we'll just get rid of this. A lot of
Well,
communities
you
are
already regulated basically the width of the driveway with your,
with the porous.
yeah.
If that happens, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, and
And with
maybe that's enough. Maybe there's no need for a,
I would suggest that's enough.
that's probably
Yeah.
enough.
With that and your landscaping requirements, I think you've
Mhm.
almost limited the width of the driveway.
You do, you know, probably in the large lots in the estate residential, maybe get the really big ones still,
Exactly.
but if that's not a concern.
I mean, those who have 3 garages right one next to the other, they're going to have a large driveway.
Yeah, I can think of a few of those right now.
Yeah, me
With the
too.
triple garage, right?
Yeah, there are quite a few houses.
Almost driveway.
What's
Huh?
that?
The whole front is almost driveway.
Yeah, there's some up by where Marion lived, where there's a number of those
Especially if
houses.
the garage is kind of at the front of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do with those?
Yeah, you know, you always, these are the kind of points, it's just my opinion, when you start trying to regulate some of this minutia, this is sometimes where people start getting their backs up a bit.
Yeah, so I think
Right.
Yeah.
maybe best not to.
It's-
So I'd say I'd just as soon not have any of that in there.
Yeah, I don't think you're,
Because there's quite a few that have 3-car garage
Need a little bit of
in
control.
this town.
Yeah.
And new
There's
houses
quite a few
especially.
houses with 3-car
And
garage.
if there comes a time when there is a, what would be the word, there is a sound planning principle by which we need to start looking at this, and stormwater runoff may be one of those principles.
Yeah, that's right.
You may be able to regulate this based on porous surface. That's a
Yeah,
reasonable planning
yeah,
principle.
Yeah,
But if it's arbitrary,
Yeah.
I'd be very concerned about that type of regulation.
Yeah, I agree.
Sounds good.
Not to have it.
Strike that.
Scrolling,
We're getting close here, I think, here.
195,
This is in the signs.
yeah, animated electronic message
Oh,
duration
yeah.
standards.
That's an interesting-
Okay. Some places are doing this.
Ways down.
Yeah, it's 195.
Yeah, 195, Council.
Scrolling down
You
here.
know, you can just hit.
There's general consensus in the planning school of thought that these signs that are constantly, digital signs
Yeah.
adjacent to roadways that are
Very
constantly
distracting.
moving, and there's been a lot of research on it, so that 8 seconds,
It's what needs to be, for an image to stay still.
yeah, so it's static, 8 seconds, doesn't move, no movement whatsoever, then it can transition
Right,
for 2 seconds, then it's static again. That's
right.
the idea.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
Those
accidents
big
because
signs
of
along
those things.
Merrimack Driver. Boy, I'll tell you.
Lethbridge is a bad example.
Wham!
They've done a bad job of regulating this. When I was with the city of Medicine Hat, they got on this quicker, but Lethbridge just brought in some stuff on this earlier
Yeah,
this
and
year.
I have had a lot of issues with, okay, no, I agree. I think,
So 2 second change, 8 second interval.
Static, yeah.
Static.
Stay static.
now, that is for a standalone,
That's for
or would
anything.
that be for any kind of surface
Any
where you
sign
have any
employing
connect?
animation,
Any,
electronic.
any kind be flat on
Yeah,
a
doesn't-
building or
We have
being
3 in
standalone?
town already.
Yeah, there's 3 right now.
3 in
Yeah.
town.
Right.
That's what I mean,
Really?
so they have to
That one,
follow the
that's-
8 second, 2 second, 8
South Country
second?
and Remax.
Once this gets in, we'll have to have them follow that.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering, can we impose that on them?
Well, it
And
might
then
be
it's the
tricky
same-
to do that to the ones that are
Exactly.
there.
2 of them were put up basically without asking. And one of them they asked and said, well, they already have that, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a tricky story, because that's not really
What if we
retroactive.
took this to the 3 sign owners and just said, look, in your advertising, do you see this as an issue? At least you'd be aware of it before we pass the bylaw.
Well.
Yeah, I think we should maybe
We
do
just take the
something.
proposal and say, because these aren't the kind of things that people are gonna assume are in your land use bylaw a lot of times.
Yeah,
No.
So
we probably call attention to
if we
it.
explicitly take this to their attention, at least we have that feedback.
Yeah, but
But,
we have a signed bylaw, Jeff, on
Yeah.
signage
Yeah,
on
but
Main Street.
Yep.
it doesn't have the seconds with it. But I really think also they need to understand why we are concerned as a council to have that 8 second, 2 seconds,
Just gotta talk to those 3 businesses. And
you
they
know,
may
for
all-
safety purpose,
And they may all
right?
say, hey, we got a problem with it.
I wonder if I shouldn't also say that signs that are readily in view from a roadway or something like that, so it's not to,
Yeah, the one that I mean,
if there's one on Easy Foods that's, or Extra Foods that's not, I guess that would be facing the street there.
yeah, no, I mean, we have just facing the
Purpose
street.
of
All
fixing
3
it.
out.
They're gonna wanna do that.
All 3 of them are on Main Street,
Okay.
on Highway 2.
I think of 2 of them, I don't know what the third one is.
Yeah.
So if I can't put it on my building, what happens if I put it in my window? Is it
It's still an animated sign under this regulation.
Yeah, it's.
It talks about that somewhere.
Window signs, yeah, there is stuff in here on that. If you're doing the same thing and just trying to skirt around it, I think we still got you.
Yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with like the scrolling signs necessarily.
Yes.
is it?
Yeah, it's
Does it-
exactly what it is.
The high school.
Any of those signs are
So the
scrolling?
high school scroll.
The high school.
Okay.
High school.
Those, anything that's digitized, a digitized sign.
Those signs were normally called a changeable copy sign. They were handled a little different.
Okay. Because there's no graphic, right?
Yeah, maybe we
There's
need
only
to treat them
changeable
different
copies, so
then,
they-
where there's just text.
It's straight text
Straight
and
text.
no graphic.
So that's what the Remington had, and
Yeah, the
they're
Remington.
done legally and everything. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
if
big
high
one.
school ever got.
Yeah, you're right.
there, That's before my time.
Yeah, that's 5 of them down there.
They're a little different than the scrolling, just the scrolling words.
Yeah, they're covered
That's
in
not an
the
animated
changeable
sign,
copy
Remington.
sign.
Okay.
In the-
Well, animated is
Depends how
anything
you
that
want
has
to
movement.
Depends how you want to define animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might
like a
need
movie
to break that
quality
down
sort of
into
thing.
2
Yeah.
different kinds of.
So where just a text message.
It's already
scrolling
covered in
text.
there, Brian, it's under changeable copy sign,
Okay.
somewhat the same.
Changeable.
There's one already, changeable copy.
Yeah,
sign.
changeable content.
Maybe it has to be defined
It
properly
talks
in
about
a
just wording
definition.
changes and
But I don't know if it was meant, if it covers the moving electronic signs.
Yeah.
We'll
it
take a
does.
look, yeah. Allow scrolling text.
You just grab that picture on your way to work or what?
it says electrical digital changeable content. So that's,
Rock 106.
means assigns the context which changes automatically through electronic or mechanical means and may include typical features such as electronic messages, center or time, temperature units. That's changeable content sign.
Okay. Okay, we'll have
You're
to,
actually good after this, man.
good after this?
Yeah. Then it's definitions, which everyone could.
There is a freestanding sign on 199, page 199. You have the maximum size of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yeah. That 25, 30 feet is pretty typical. If you drive into Coaldale and you see the new McDonald's sign on Highway 3, know that that's 45 feet. So now you know what 45 feet looks like if you're ever out there. That just got approved out there.
That new McDonald's?
Yeah, the new McDonald's there.
45 feet.
The freestanding sign just went up.
The M.
Yeah, I was down there yesterday.
Where is the new McDonald's?
That's 45 feet.
But I don't know if the whole thing's erect. Last time I heard just the pole, but the arches weren't on there. Was the whole thing on there?
No, it wasn't. So what's it gonna be when the arches go?
It's gonna be 45 total structure, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where is that located?
In Coaldale.
West end of Coaldale.
Oh.
The west end.
Okay.
Anyways, but 25, 30 is more typical. So I just wanted to run that by you. There is a maximum sign area
No, that's something.
standard in there too.
But we're talking about static signs.
Yeah,
It's
just.
just freestanding signs, yeah.
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 That's one of the problems our bylaw, old bylaw has is like home hardwares and places like that. Their signs are getting bigger and our bylaw didn't fit those
Yeah, it
bigger
has to be,
signs. Spacious
Right.
signs were getting quite large.
and then you have all the definitions. And you have the list of them, and then you have the definition, that's it.
So you're going 30, Ryan?
Sorry?
Are you going up to 30 then?
30 was the thought for,
Yeah.
or was in the drive-in and industrial. But I mean,
So I see.
Maximum sign area.
what do you think? What, did you see that one already?
Yeah, either, that's fine.
Not a big deal.
That's it. It's amazing. We managed to do it.
Ryan, have you got any other things for the council?
I don't think so. I think we'll just maybe have to, I don't know how we want to go about these proposed, the rezonings, and I was thinking maybe I'd sit down with staff, and once staff and I came up with something, we'd bring it to
Yeah.
council at the appropriate
Yeah, it would be
time.
better to have something, the maps and all that,
Yeah, we need to look at the maps.
yeah.
And then now, do we want to, is this draft, once it's been tweaked, okay to put out to the public? What were we thinking with the
Well,
consultation?
Yeah, I think, Nolan, our next step was some public consultation, right?
hearing.
So an open house, and then obviously you need to start the public hearing process before you do another reading.
Right.
But I think we should have an open house first
Yeah.
to get general feedback.
Can, the community awareness.
We haven't even done first reading on this. We haven't assigned it a bylaw number yet, so.
Community awareness
You
would
have
be a
community
good
awareness
time
night,
to
yeah,
try to
so
do
that'll fit
something
well.
with that.
Yep.
I think an open house is probably good, especially with, we got two big things here, this maximum lot size, and we got these garage and garden suites. I think those are two of
Yeah.
your big ticket things that you want to get some early feedback on, maybe.
And maybe the landscaping too. We may want to see a little
Yeah.
bit how they react to that.
I can do a little summary of the thing, summary of the proposed major changes in that.
Yeah.
A little one-page little handout kind of thing.
Okay.
Probably good. Do you guys want to talk about a date right now for an open house?
Let us look at
Okay.
it, and we'll talk about it.
I think that's best.
Yeah, let us look at the calendar and see what's going on.
Okay, moving forward on the agenda then, we got staffing and community
Yes.
awareness night, we need to worry about that.
It's been a good day.
Pardon me,
Thank
Councillor,
you
sorry.
so much.
Just concluding with.
Yes, thank you, Ryan.
You bet,
Very
yeah.
much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Here,
you.
Ryan, I got one more correction.
Nolan, thank you very much.
I have a few other ones that I will give you.
You want to email to me?
I will email them.
This is a real simple one, right here, just district.
there? Okay.
Yeah, it says
No big deal.
district. Oh,
Citric.
I already mentioned that on my list, so you have it twice now.
Thank you, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow, did we move through that?
There's a few in there, but.
Have a safe trip.
If you-
Thank
if
you.
Yeah,
found
for families.
some,
Thanks,
let me
Jeff.
know.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
That's what you want. I think
Okay,
we-
item B under 8B, please. We got staffing and community awareness
Right.
night,
Yeah.
counselors.
So I just need to know, just so we can plan on having counselors there, I just need to know if that works for everyone.
Okay, if I remember the way we did it last time, every councillor had the chance to have about 2 of them at the same time, 30 minutes at a time. So that gave everybody a chance to go see what was going on. And I stayed there for the
And
whole
it's only an hour and a
night.
half, right?
I stayed there for the whole night, so
Six,
I think most of us stayed there for,
most of the time.
many
After
of
tonight.
you, because you were inputting all that, those things. So, but what is required is really 30 minutes. If you want to stay more, longer, it's fine. If you want to stay less, so long somebody is covering and we 2 at the table, it's all what matters.
So we got counselors that are ready to go.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I'll probably be
Okay.
helping with another booth at part of the time too.
Jeff, just
Yeah.
count us all in.
Yeah, this,
Okay, sounds good.
so you can just.
Okay.
Do you want to know what times we're going to be there, or?
Well, as long as all of you aren't planning on coming the last half hour or something.
6 through 8:30, right, is the
Is
time?
that 6 to 7?
7:30.
So 6 to 8, okay, so it's 2 hours,
6:30
okay.
to 8.
6:30 to
But
8:30.
you know
So
something-
it is an hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, but at 6 o'clock they're
A lot of
already
people
falling
come, a
in.
lot of people are there at 6.
Yeah.
And that, the date on that is
6:30.
November what?
30th.
Okay, so why don't we put it this way, who will be there at 6:30? Who can be there at
I think some
6:30?
of them should be there at 6 even, I mean,
I'll
somebody.
I'll be there at
I'll be
6.
there as early as I
I'll
can,
probably
probably
be there.
6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
And
and who
then-
wants to be later on, 6:30? Who wants to do 6:30? Councillor Edmonds?
Oh, yeah, 6:30.
You know, if we're there for an hour and a half, that's gonna go pretty fast.
No, but if we have a sense of the rotation, it's easier, right? If you have something at last minute, you cannot
so I've
tell.
got Councillor Barnes, Creed, and Barfuss will start, and the rest of you will finish.
Yep,
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
6 o'clock. Okay.
There you go.
okay. Number 9, questions? Leave that open, there's no, we got one correspondence, and that is
Interesting
explaining a
one,
problem with the
Yeah.
voting.
Well,
Talked about that at the time.
Yeah, we
You
noticed
know, we
it,
knew there was a problem, but they keep on telling us there was no problem.
showing when 10
Okay.
people voted or
We
something.
knew there was a problem, the numbers were.
Yeah, when
so
15 or 16 people are voting.
14 people voted.
It was absolutely skewed. So now they're going to,
Do a mail-in ballot for
Yeah,
the,
send out a mail, yeah.
So everybody's been demoted, they've eliminated all those positions, or
the results have been overturned, yeah,
overturned, yeah.
voided.
So we'll be waiting.
It's
for-
nothing much we have to worry about. 'cause
Nope.
Nothing included our
Concern us.
community, I mean.
well, it's
Yes.
new electronics, I tried something new and it didn't work any
Didn't
better
work.
than
It
the
seemed
old.
pretty slick,
Yeah,
you know.
Just a programming error.
yeah. so-
Worked well for
I like pulling the
resolutions.
name out of the hat, I thought that was really good.
But we knew something was wrong,
Yeah.
except,
All right, so we have no confidential items,
Nope.
so I'm looking for a motion.
here, I'll do that for you.
Councillor Edmonds?
Hey, you made it by.
Yeah, Edmonds was first up.
Good for him. I'll
Thank you, council.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank you,
you.
Jill and Corey.
Jill's gone. No, she knows she's gone. Yeah. No, I think Kim's gone.
You get
Yes.
a break now, eh?
Yeah.